We all know people who've been going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week for years and they still look the same. Last week, I signed a client up who'd had a personal trainer in the past, and when we got talking about their knowledge on training, there was one major principle that they'd never gone over with their personal trainer, therefore not seeing the results that they actually wanted. I'm going to break that down in this video. I'm going to show you the exact principle, how to apply it to your own training, and how I've been managing to do it for years over time and been getting the result. If you've been training consistently and not seeing results and not seeing muscle growth, this is probably the answer. When I first started training, I was 57 kilos. I struggled to bench press the 5 kilo dumbbells. I'm now sitting at 80 kilo body weight. I'm able to bench press 155 kilos, and it's all because of this simple principle that I've followed for years and years on end. I've been training now for around 9 years. There will be a link in the description to the exact workout that I'm following at the moment for you to be able to download, go to the gym, and apply this principle to it. So what is the principle? It's progressive overload. All this means is that when you're going to the gym, you're going to push towards failure. Therefore, you're going to create a stimulus where you start to fail and your body doesn't want to do that anymore. What your body will then do is it will start to build muscle mass to mean that you don't fail lifting that same weight at the same amount of reps again, right? What people tend to do is when they first start training, they'll train to failure and then they keep the weights and the reps exactly the same. Once the adaptations have happened and you've built the muscle mass, you're no longer nowhere near failure, so you're not creating the same stimulus. What that means is there is no more need for your body to grow muscle. So when we talk about these people who we see who go to the gym 3-4 times a week and they do it for years, they'll see results in the first 6 months, and then what they'll say is, I've hit a plateau, I've lost all the beginner gains, now I can't grow any more muscle. It's not true. They're just not applying progressive overload whatsoever. What progressive overload isn't is chasing the pump. Going into the gym, doing what you can just to get a pump on, and not tracking anything. What we need to be doing is making sure that we're tracking data. And I'm going to show you the exact way that I do this with clients and with myself. So what we do is we do training phases of around 6 to 8 weeks before a deload, but that's not majorly important right now. And what we do in that time is we set the first week where we train to failure or within a couple of reps to failure. We set the weight that we're going to do for each exercise, then the reps that we did within each set of that exercise, and we record it, right? What we then do the next week is we go in and we try to add one more rep to each working set. What that means is you're actually increasing the weight by a tiny amount each week by adding that rep on. The overall volume that you're doing is increasing, right? Therefore, you're going to keep creating that stimulus. Your body's going to keep understanding that it has a need to build more muscle mass. Therefore, we're going to be in that range. Then what I get them to do is, once they can do 15 reps of a specific weight that we've set, that is just by them going and testing what weight they can do to failure between 10 to 12 reps. Once they can do 15 on their first working set, I then get them to increase the weight for the next week. So because they've now increased the weight, the reps will drop down that week that they go in and they start that, but then that's their new weight. That's their new working weight, and they're going to try and build that up so that the first set, they can then do 15 reps on that. The big caveat to this is you cannot change program all the time. I have so many people ask me, how often should I change my program? I've been doing the same exercises now for 4 weeks. Is it time to change? No. The longest program I've ever ran was around 6 months. I didn't change an exercise. I tracked everything, and that was the most results that I saw from a strength and a size standpoint. If your strength's increasing all the time, you're going to be growing muscle mass. It's just a fact, right? There'll be some caveats with technique in place, but you're predominantly going to be building muscle mass if you're getting stronger. So what I'd be looking at for clients is run these programs as long as we can until they get bored or start to want to shift what their priority is in terms of which muscle groups, and we might change up that way, but we're looking at a bare minimum of 12 weeks per program. What I would do with clients is we would change it up once they're bored of the program or they change the priority of which muscle groups they're wanting to grow the most. That would be after 2 to 3 cycles of progressive overload into a deload, and then again, and then again, and then again, for as much as we can. What this then looks like over time is when you get somebody like me. So I have people come to me and say, wow, you're really strong for your size, right? I started at 57 kilos. I could barely bench press the dumbbells that you get on the little rack, which are near the Pilates section, usually in a gym. And now I can bench 155 kilos for a 1 rep max at 80 kilos, which is close to double body weight, which is insanity, right? For somebody who I don't really do powerlifting training anymore, I've just applied this principle over time. So if you're wanting to get that physique where it shows as soon as you walk into the room and people notice it, this is what you need to be doing. Okay, you can say, oh, I don't really want to go and track all my weights, that's time consuming. You're just doing it while you're resting, right? If you want to see these results, this is what you have to do. So what I want you to do is drop me a follow on my Instagram. It's robbie.bins_coaching. It will be in the description as well. I'm reposting more content on the nutrition side and the training side as well on there. Quick, digestible bits that you can improve on. A lot of it's going to be about the mindset and the psychology around training and nutrition. So go give that a follow. Make sure you download the workout plan within the description as well and start following that with a progressive overload in mind and start adding that into your training. And then if you're wanting more tips on how to get in shape and how to grow an impressive physique while having a top level career, make sure you subscribe because there's going to be videos coming weekly explaining all of the principles that I do with clients to get them these results.